Free Japan Channel number 174. Today, March 13th, Friday. The time is 6 p.m. in Yokohama. Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? The night is on the threshold tonight, and the city lights are now lightening one by one. Today's FCC topic is Trump defamed. This is a topic. President Trump is now defamed. By what or by whom? He is now defamed by himself or by his decision to attack Iran. As you know, the US and Israel forces attacked Iran. It was so-called preemptive attack. Iran didn't do anything yet. However, US and Israel forces attacked Iran, assassinating the supreme leader, Mr. Khamenei. This is literally the infringement of sovereignty of Iran. Trump even went so far as to say that the new leader of Iran would be the person who is suitable for American diplomacy, and the son of Mr. Khamenei is out of the question. But does he really have the right to say such a thing to Iran? Why can President Trump say something about the new leader of Iran? Iran is a sovereign country, which means it can decide its own course by its own will, without being interfered by some other countries. Of course, the US can't do anything, can say anything about the new leader of Iran, though the US force eliminated Mr. Khamenei. Was it really necessary for the United States to wage this war, this Iranian war? Perhaps no. Then why did Mr. Trump decide to wage this war? The answer is clear: because this war was requested by Prime Minister Netanyahu. So this is the will of Israel, not the US, to wage this war against Iran. Don't you think so? In other words, Israel is now in the position to dictate the United States to do something, in this case, to wage the war. We cannot immediately believe that Israel is in the position of ordering something to the United States, but the reality is so. Israel is superior to the United States. Don't you think it is a very strange situation that the United States has to obey the order of Israel? But this is reality. The US politics has been dominated by Israel influence for more than 50 years, maybe 60 years. Israel was established in 1948, 3 years after the end of World War II. Immediately after the establishment of Israel, the first Middle East war broke out. In this war, Israel could win other Arabian or Islamic countries. Other Islamic countries were not prepared for this war, though they were very in advantageous situation because Israel was still in the very weak position soon after the establishment of the country. Nevertheless, in 60s and in 70s, there were also some kind of war between Israel and surrounding Islamic countries. But in 1967 or in 1973, so the third and the fourth Middle East war, Israel defeated surrounding Arabian countries almost one-sidedly with the back help of United States. 50 years have passed since the 1970s. Therefore, now Israel Force, so Israel Defense Force (IDF), is much superior to other Islamic forces. Iran is, in a sense, only country which can rival IDF, Israel Defense Force. Therefore, Iran is a threatening country on the side of Israel. And of course, Iranian leaders also thought that they should protect their own country from Israel as well as from the United States. And maybe it was true that Iranian government was developing, or is now developing nuclear weapons secretly. And of course, it was the immediate menace to Israel or Israeli people. We have to admit that. But for the United States, was it a threat, immediate threat? No. Iran is in another country from United States. There's no immediate threat from Iran to the United States. No missile could go to the United States from Iranian bases, and no illegal immigrants, perhaps maybe few Iranians were some illegal immigrant, but it is out of the question. Therefore, illegal immigrants or illegal drugs could not be found in the Iranian cases, which means the United States or Mr. Trump didn't have any legitimacy to attack Iran or to do preemptive attack this time. But he did. He decided to do it, and the United States did it. And they even attacked girls' primary school, which killed more than 160 girls, primary school girls. And Mr. Trump said that it was the Iranian missile, not US missile, which went to that school. Trump said that Iranian weapon is so inaccurate, therefore Iranian force, dropped their own missile to the primary school, girls' primary school. But this argument of Trump didn't have any evidence or didn't have any ground to back up this insistence of Mr. Trump. It was so absurd that he said so. It was only a temporary pretext to avoid the criticism from the journalism. Now, US government is saying that they are on the investigation about this attack on primary school. So Mr. Trump said something which has no evidence, no ground in the reality. Here in FGC, I have always advocated the policy of Mr. Trump. This FGC is a conservative channel. From conservative point of view, Mr. Trump's action and words were so favorable, were so agreeable, that I could say something positive about Mr. Trump and his policy. In January, last January, so 2 months ago, Trump also decided to attack Venezuela. In the case of Venezuela, Trump had some legitimacy to attack the country because so many illegal immigrants, so millions of immigrants, came to the United States from Venezuela. In addition, illegal drugs were also sent to the US from Venezuelan port. Prior to the attack on presidential palace in Venezuela, the US already revealed the footage that US military planes attacked the trafficking ships of Venezuela. And these ships were all so instantly destroyed by the missiles. Perhaps the crews were all dead. It was a very cruel footage, but I was thinking that it was necessary for the United States to guard its own country from illegal immigrants and illegal drug. But this time, in the case of Iran, it is totally another story, isn't it? Look, Iran was surely a threatening country to Israel, but not to the United States. Then why was the United States involved in the war or in the attack, killing the supreme leader of Iran? The hatred and resentment of Iranian people is so deep now that they will fight against Israel and the United States to the end. Maybe. Iran has a long history from Persian Empire. So it is more than 2,700 years that Persian Empire had history, so written history. This long history is something even in the international arena of the present time. Don't you think so? The country which has long history is so resilient, is so strong in the cultural way as well as in the ethical way. Even now, the war is not being decided, is not to be determined only by technological advancement. From the perspective of technology, Iran is perhaps inferior to the United States Rather, there's no country in this present world which is tantamount to the United States in the sense of military capability. However, as I said, the war cannot be waged only by technology. It is waged by human decision and human endeavor and human action, of course. Then, racial tenacity, for example, or strong will are also important in the war effort, even this day. Now, Iranian people have such strong hatred to Israel and to America because their supreme leader is now dead because of the so-called preemptive attack of America and Israel. They can never forgive it. They never, Iranian people. So I think that this time, this war, this Iranian war, is a very, very bad choice for President Trump, but he already chose it. He never obliterated it anymore. Already 1,300 people in Iran was killed by the attack of Israel and America. Trump said that the US force already destroyed almost all the bases of Iran. Therefore, the people all over the world should be relieved. No retaliation from Iran. And the Hormuz Strait is also safe. But today, according to today's report, many ships or tankers in Hormuz Strait were attacked by Iranian military force. Even one tanker of Thailand was in the frame because of the attack of Iran. So Hormuz Strait is far from the safe place, as Donald Trump said. Therefore, the content of Trump, or out of insistence of Trump that this war will soon be ended, is also very dubious. Trump defamed himself by this war. This is my opinion. What do you think about this war and about this opinion of mine? Thank you.